Good morning, everybody. This is our call to order for our Tuesday, September 8th, regular meeting of the Mason County Commission. We'll begin with a Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Montgomery, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Roll call, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Tim Sheldon is absent. Commissioner District 3, Terry Jeffries.
Here.
Thank you. Item number 4, correspondence and organizational business. Do we have any correspondence to come before this commission?
Yes, we do. The Deputy Mayor of Maple Valley sent a letter thanking the Commission and Sheriff Salisbury for their support of the 2015 Summer Explorer Academy and thanked Detective Danielle Rickard for her attendance. The Fish and Wildlife Office announced that they are opening public comment from August 25th to October 26th regarding critical habitat for the marble murrelet, and Gregory Waggett submitted an application for the Allendale Fair UGA Committee.
Thank you. Item 4.2, Timberland Regional Library Update. Cheryl Haywood.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for this opportunity. Before I get started, we have Jenny here. I'd like to have her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Jenny Grenfell. I'm the manager of the North Mason Timberland Library in Belfair.
Patty was unable to make it this morning. She is the manager for Shelton and Hoodsport. As I begin talking this morning, we do have extra folders if you're interested, highlighting some of the resources and services and collections we offer. I wanted to share some highlights with you since my last visit here in February of this year. Want to talk about a major shout out and thank you to the Shelton Timberland Library staff who responded very quickly, immediately to the Simpson Green Diamond layoffs. They were there at the community fair for employees, sharing their knowledge about computer skills and resume writing and cover letter writing and so on. So they were there on that day, May 27th I think it was, and they're there every day. The library is open in Shelton to help people, dislocated workers who have lost their jobs in terms of improving their job skills, improving their computer skills, improving their resume writing and interviewing skills and so on. Wanted to also mention that library staff members attend the monthly WorkSource Job Club and they're actively involved with the Chamber of Commerce and the Asset Building Coalition in Mason County. And the Shelton Timberland Library staff will continue to support the community through this difficult time. Also, Mason County Library programs, highlights for the past couple of months. There's been a program on job search tips and tricks for teenagers. Money Matters, there were 4 sessions, financial recovery, smart spending, kids and cash, credit and credit reports. And there was also a homeschool open house for students and parents. In terms of the United Way Day of Caring program, United Way chose the Shelton Timberland Library, which you may know, as this year's recipient of community care, resulting in a lovely new coat of paint on the building's front entrance area. Our thanks to all the volunteers and to Honor Roll Painting for donating equipment, supplies, and volunteer safety training. I want to thank the group that appointed me as library director to the Pacific Mountain Workforce Development Council. This is a great honor and a great privilege and a great way for the public libraries, the 27 libraries, to strategically align with Pac Mountain as we move forward with the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. So we will be working closely with our partners and with Pac Mountain on an integrated service delivery system. We are also working very closely with the United States Small Business Administration. So Melanie Norton is a representative for this area, including King County, Pierce County, and the 5 counties that Timberland serves. Melanie first started working with Seattle Public Library and then King County Library System to put together business entrepreneurial work classes, and so she'll be doing the same thing with us next year. In terms of our summer reading program this year, we had a superhero theme, and we engaged a record number of children and teenagers. So across the 5-county region, 17,044 people participated, an increase of 1,200 children and teenagers over the past year. For Mason County, Shelton, there was an increase of 508 to 1,429 teenagers and children participating. So 508 more people. In North Mason Belfair, an increase of 95 people to 550 teenagers and children, and an increase of 8, making it to 64 in Hoodsport. This fall, we are doing a Timberland Reads Together, just like we have been doing for more than the past 10 years. And this year we're doing something different. We're doing something called Timberland Writes Together. So I have one copy of the book right now. This is a proof. And this is based on 198 local writers who submitted their short stories based on optimism. 15 stories were selected. The cover is local artist work as well. So this will be available in a downloadable ebook, hard copy, large print as well. And in order for us to celebrate and read about this book in October. Also in October is our Library Get the Card campaign. Last year we gave out 4,000 new cards in October. This year we're hoping to aim for that or even higher. What is new for the Library Card campaign is that for anybody who gets a new library card, they'll be getting a card that has the cover art from the book. And there will also be an opportunity for new card holders to enter into a drawing to win an e-reader, one in each county. Great news for all of us. The Microsoft IT Academy, provided by the Washington State Library, has continued with its funding, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. This means that everyone has access through the Timberland website to over 400 classes, self-paced on computers, from how to use a mouse to how to write a very sophisticated language. It's available in 20 different languages, 400 classes, and again, there's textbooks and other information on the Microsoft IT Academy section on the website. Also in your packet, I wanted to point out something that typically we don't share at this level, but because of business and we're focusing so much on helping people, I included this handout here in your packet. And this handout is really critical because it gives you information about the Gale classes, which are free, online. You sign up and you have 6 weeks with an online tutor, and they're college level, from everything from business and marketing writing to creating a successful business plan to managing customer service to writing resumes and more. So that's Gale classes. And then there's another sheet here that goes over all of the databases we have related to business and then what they're good for and how to use them. And the last sheet in here are all these practice tests that you can take if you're interested. In terms of outreach and service via social media, we added an important one for us this year called LinkedIn. So now people can link in for our jobs that are advertised, and we also it's creating a network and information source for job seekers, business builders, and entrepreneurs. So this will be in addition to our Facebook account, our Twitter account. We have an Instagram account for all the photos that we take at all of our programs, and we also have what's called a Teen Tumblr account for teenagers. In terms of streaming and downloadable collections, Mason County residents, compared to the first 6 months of this year, compared to last year at the same time, January to June, have increased downloadable by 45%. That means close to 2,400 downloadables in the first 6 months of this year. That's huge, 45% more. And so I just wanted to point out a couple of things about the downloadable collection. We doubled the titles for Zinio, and Zinio is a downloadable service for magazine issues. You can download an issue and keep it forever. So this is like National Geographic or Family Handyman or Oprah or whatever. So we have 200 titles now that you can keep the current issue forever. Another one is called Hoopla. It's like Netflix. So Hoopla, we could all be watching or listening or reading the same thing at the same time. Hoopla, we doubled the checkouts from 10 per card per month to 20. So you have access to movies and TV shows and documentaries and so on. And then for music lovers, we do have Freegal, which is free and legal access to music. You have access to 7 million songs that you can download 5 songs per week or listen to 3 hours per day. And back to Hoopla for a moment, we just added comic books and graphic novels, so for the kids to read that. I want to end with a service story, because this says what we're all about. And in this case, this service story comes from the Shelton Timberland Library from this past summer. One little girl went to the library who had just been placed in foster care in Shelton. She had come from Everett, and at first kept talking about how much better her library was in Everett. She acted as if she didn't want to be here, but her foster family took her into the program anyway. Taylor's Shellfish Outreach, and education coordinator Jennifer was there with gooey duck clams, oysters, and other shellfish for the kids to touch. The little girl was fascinated and kept telling Jennifer how glad she was that she had come, and even asked her for a hug when the program was over. I then worked with her, not me, but the librarian there, worked with her to find books about mermaids. And luckily we had 2 great ones on the shelf. She looked at her foster mother at one point and asked if she thought her mom would let her check out 2 items, to which her foster mother replied, "I'm sure she would love it if you did." For that one little girl who came in so angry and confused and a little lost, that program meant everything and was a great introduction to the compassion of our libraries. And who knows, maybe she'll grow up and be a mermaid one day. You have any questions?
I do. So you acknowledged Melanie Norton from the Small Business Administration.
Yes.
Can you expound a little bit more on what the SBA does with the library?
So she has been working, as I mentioned, with King County and Seattle Public. These are, I believe they're 1 to 2 hour workshops for small businesses, for people who want to open up a small business, where the first 15 or 20 minutes, library staff go in and talk about all the resources that we would have that would help people do that. Then Melanie comes in, either her, I'm not quite sure if it's her or her staff who come in, and talk about all the financial opportunities for that. So she has, again, done this very successfully at the Pierce County Public Libraries, at King County and Seattle. So now she's looking to us. We've met with her twice now. She's going to be meeting with all the managers in early December. We hope to start offering these classes in each of our counties, as many as we can next year. She's also coordinating meetings by county on this topic currently, where she's trying to bring in as many people as possible to talk about this topic. So Blake at Shelton went to the one in Mason County. We have staff from our libraries going to all these meetings. We get the minutes back so that we know how to work, as we move forward in time, to work very cohesively and collaboratively with the feds. And this will be, they want to be so, organized about it, that they want us to enter into a memo of understanding. And we, as Timberland, have never entered into a memo of understanding with a federal agency before. So it'll be new for us in terms of how we're going to advertise it and who's going to do what and so on. So we're looking to doing that next year as soon as possible.
And she assists businesses with SBA loans?
Yes,
then? Okay.
yes. I can forward you the minutes to the most recent Mason County meeting that she had, if you would like.
No, we have so many growing opportunities now for entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And it's very good to know that we have the SBA involved here, because
Yes.
they're obviously the ones that kind of started at the ground level.
Yes, and the other thing about this is that we offer this database called Reference USA, and Randy has seen it in action, and that is going to really help in terms of helping people find jobs, create new businesses, and so on. This is access to 24 million companies across the country. You can go into this database and say, give me all the companies that bring in more than 20 million in revenue in Mason County. I'm making this up, but you can get a list of the companies, and it's a very, very powerful database that could help small business entrepreneurs to find out who their competition is, what their credit rating score is, their revenue, their expenditures, and all that kind of stuff. So Reference USA is something that I would strongly urge you to look at.
Thank you.
It is very impressive. Most people, when they think about the library, they think about just reading the book or like, and the reason why I'm always excited when we talk about this is I took one of your introductory explanation classes,
Yeah.
which was very impressive. And because we do record these and put these out live, I want to clarify a few of the things that was made clear to you. There are courses that are available to small business owners, people that would like to be a small business owner, or even people that are currently small business owners. You have an opportunity to go in and get something that's extremely valuable. You really should take it up. Imagine having a free course on creating a successful business plan. A lot of our companies, a lot of our small businesses here in this community don't even have a business plan. They never took the time to do it. They just fly by the seat of their pants. I know. I used to do it myself. How about managing customer service? We all know how important that is. we in the county, we're trying to take our own classes on that type of thing to teach ourselves to be more receptive to that. How about marketing your business on the internet? In today's day and age, imagine how much stronger your business will be if you take the time to go and take those classes. It's free, it allows you to market free. It definitely would help your business be more successful. Mastery of business fundamentals or principles of sales management. There's so many of them that so many different opportunities, and the Microsoft IT Academy is extremely a good opportunity for anybody. This is, they give you basic digital literacy skills, Microsoft Office skills, advanced skills for IT professionals. If you're just trying to advance yourself in your own career, this is something that for free somebody can take you, teach you, show you. All you got to do is walk in. So I just wanted to make that clear for those of them that are at home. If they were to come to the library, would you have one of these packets that you could present to them?
We could, yes. Typically all the little brochures and so, they're all over the library, but we can certainly put into one folder.
Well, please go down to your library and actually ask for one of those packets. You're going to be shocked with some of the things that they do. It is definitely not just check out a book day.
No, it isn't.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Item number 4.3, proclamation, National Preparedness, I can't speak this today, National Preparedness Month. It's supposed to be Ross McDowell Tamley will be speaking. Tamley, would you please come up?
Good morning. My name is Tammy Bright. I'm with Mason County Emergency Management, and Ross is unfortunately sick today, so he asked me to come and read the proclamation for National Preparedness Month. Whereas emergencies in Mason County can happen unexpectedly in communities just like yours, to people just like you, and whereas the entire Mason County community can take actions to become prepared to respond and recover from any natural or man-made disaster, no matter how big or small, the more people who are prepared, the quicker our community will recover. And whereas Mason County first responders may not always be able to reach you quickly in an emergency or disaster, and the most important step you can take in helping them is being able to take care of yourself and those in your care for at least a short period of time following an incident. Whereas during National Preparedness Month, September 2015, community members are encouraged to take time to prepare yourself and those in your care for emergencies and disasters that can impact our neighborhoods for days at a time. And whereas Mason County community members who are prepared to meet any emergency or disaster can be a positive influence on their neighbors by sharing their preparedness story and encouraging friends, family, and co-workers to be prepared too. Now therefore, we the Board of County Commissioners of Mason County do hereby proclaim September 2015 as National Preparedness Month. Mason County urges our fellow citizens to make sure that you and your family are prepared for an emergency by 1, creating a family emergency plan, 2, preparing a disaster supply kit, and 3, learning what protective measures to take before, during, and after an emergency. And if I might add, having said that, Mason County Emergency Management and the County Public Health and Human Services Department are co-hosting a community preparedness fair on Saturday, September 19th at the Walmart parking lot. There's going to be food, drinks, and lots of equipment displays and safety demonstrations. So everybody is invited to attend.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Jeffries will actually present you.
But I did want to add posthumously one more activity. I sit on the Area Agency on Aging, and we also talk a lot and discuss a lot about how do we also make sure that our clients that are homebound yet trying to be independent in their homes, how do we take care of them in these emergencies? And so I would urge everybody to know your neighbors, to know whether there is an elderly person in your neighborhood that needs to be looked into during an emergency. So take care of yourself, go down the road, take care of your neighbor.
And also, we do have what we call a special needs population registry. To get information, what we do is you can fill it out for someone, either yourself or someone that you're in care of. And we try to make, during a disaster, if we have the Emergency Operations Center going, we try to set aside some time to make calls specifically to those to see, is there anything specifically that we might be able to assist them with. So that's available
And
also.
you can do it at home just off the cuff, but the county offers courses again on that for the citizen emergency response teams, of which Commissioner Jeffries and myself have both taken those classes. They give you an opportunity to learn what to do in these terrible events. First about taking care of yourself, but then about how to take care of your neighbors. It'd be a nice thing to actually add into those courses, the opportunity to find out about those people.
Yeah, we're working on another CERT pro course too.
Good,
So
good.
hopefully that'll be out soon.
Well, here's our official proclamation.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for the work you and our Department of Emergency Management
Enjoy
and
it.
Public Health do regarding being
Yes.
prepared, and of course our first responders.
Thank you very much. Is there any other correspondence or organizational business to come before this commission? Hearing none, we will go ahead and move over to item number 5, which is our open forum for citizens input. This is your opportunity to speak on issues that are not on the agenda. If they are on the agenda, we ask that you wait and speak at that time. But if they are not on the agenda, you'll be given an opportunity to talk to the commission and the public. We ask that you raise your hand and be called on to come up, explain what your name is and perhaps where you live. And please be brief. 15 minutes is the maximum limit for everybody, so 5 minutes per person maximum. With that being said, is there anybody in the audience who would like to come on not on the agenda? On to Twitter, please.
Thank you. My name is Monty Ritter, 538 Maple Street, right up here on Capitol Hill. I'm on the Mason County Parks and Trails Citizens Advisory Board. And as you probably may be aware, we've recently suffered a terrible loss, and our former Parks Director, John Keats, has been shot in the heart, and the last thing we saw is there's a description of the assailant, little cheruby guy wearing a diaper, bow and arrow, and wings. Last we saw, he just flew away. And I just talked to John last week, and he's fully recovered, and he's under the wonderful administrations of his wonderful new bride. And we don't expect the sheriff is going to find this person. Apparently people are falling in love all around this world, and he can only take care of Mason County.
For those in the public that are watching this video, please never do that to us.
All right, so that being said, it was tragic for us, but we loved the guy, and he left us with a lot of things on our plate. Now, the Mason County has hired a wonderful guy to replace John. He's Jeff Rabel from Tumwater, and we all really appreciate you sending him to us. He is just a wonderful guy, and eventually, there's so much stuff for him to try and jump onto at one time, he can't do that. The Mason County Citizens Advisory, or the Trail Citizens Advisory Board, is really happy with our commissioners because they have been there for us. Since all this is taken on, we've been allowed to talk to our commissioners as individuals, just like everybody in the county. You get to do it, and I encourage you, if you have a question and you want to go to the top, these guys they'll listen to you anytime. And I think that's important, that everybody realizes it's not just an officer of a board who can talk to the commissioners, it's all of us. That being said, we've gotten some wonderful help from the commissioners, and in all the projects we're doing, we don't want to see that we miss out on any of the opportunities that we have. Recently, I just talked with Commissioner Netherland regarding several things going on up in North Mason County. We have the Coulter Creek acquisition. That's a couple $1 million worth of work going on there between Allen and Belfair and off towards Victor. So we all hopefully will be able to go out there, and we can already go out there, but when all this comes together, it's going to be really impressive. Of course, we have the North Mason High School football field, and we're working on that, and we discussed, what has to be in place and make sure that nothing gets missed. And of course, Commissioner Netherland, is helping us to make sure that that comes through. And we have Sand Hill Fields out there, and that's another big project. And then, of course, our park board members are working with the U.S. Navy on rails to trails from Belfair to Shelton, and actually to extend all the way up to Bremerton. It's going to be an awesome thing. And there's also a slight buzz about a wonderful hiking and biking path that's going to circumnavigate the Belfair area. So there's a lot of excitement there. Of course, in Mason, down here in Shelton, we have the North Field, we have Mason County Recreational Field 6 and 7, and we're hoping to dial in the last of the necessary ingredients to make that a reality for everyone. We're excited about that. And then, of course, we really have to thank Commissioner Jeffries in this kind of trying time. She recently led an expedition of park board members and other interested individuals out to the Vance Creek Trestle just to put together an exploratory team to see if it's possible that the Vance Creek Trestle could be included in the Mason County repertoire of items. An exciting thing, and I have to thank Commissioner Sheldon, because last week I was talking to him and he expressed some, serious misgivings, and perhaps there's a few barriers that are across that trestle that won't allow the Mason County Express to travel across the Vance Creek Bridge. But with his help, we are able to identify some very sticky problems, and we've come to some reasonable expectations of a successful conclusion along those lines. And of course, we're looking forward to Terry Jeffries, if she could still maintain the lead in this important discussion. We are excited about it. There's so many things going on. We're excited to see Jeff Rabel on our team, and next Wednesday, not tomorrow, but next Wednesday, Bill Kinney, who's the director of the county support services, I think is his title, is going to address the Mason County Park Board and make sure that we're all on the same page as we start going forward under the leadership of Jeff Rabel. And thank you so much for everything you guys have done. You've been awesome, all of you.
It's our pleasure. I think our parks are going to be a huge piece of growing our tourism industry. Vance Creek's going to be a heavy lift, but the Trestle's going to be a heavy lift, but
Yeah, I think you're up to it.
I think we need to really be brave and go out and
Yes.
this one.
Drop a dime on Friends of the Park.
Oh, hey, and I also do want to say that that's a wonderful thing. There's so many stuff, but we also have Mason County Friends of the Park. We were a nonprofit 501c3 that was recently formed in order to handle a little bit of the public input and assist the Parks Department in seeing this transition go through. And we're looking forward to being able to effectively interface with the county and be able to do some of these difficult lifting chores that the county just can't do alone without everybody and all the citizens of Mason County helping out, because it's got to be all of us together, and appreciate everybody's help, all of us together. Thanks.
Before you go, we had a long conversation about the Vance Creek Bridge, and there's some issues that are coming up where time is of the essence, and I've given this great thought on how the best way to handle it. We did not have a briefing this week, so I was not able to bring that up to deal with that. Since we did not have a briefing, and time is of the essence, I'd like to break from our standard thing and discuss with you about just appointing you as our official representative to overcome those barriers and get it done and move it forward with us. Because it takes two to do that.
I'd be honored, and I have a tentative meeting with Green Diamond just to kind of outline what are the issues, what needs to be in any agreement between the two, the county organization and Green Diamond. Like I said, it's a heavy lift, and liability is a huge issue. And so what do we do? How do we address that? And so I look around the community, I look around the state, I see cities putting in zip lines, I see cities doing some amazing things that if they can go out there and do that, I think there's a way that we can come up.
Well, we definitely don't want to lose opportunities. That's one of the greatest sins of all in our business when they come up. So if you will take that appointment, just please move it.
I appreciate that.
And make that happen.
Your confidence in it.
Thank you. I have to say, in doing this, my discussion with Tim Sheldon last week, he pointed out the liability issue with the Washington County Risk Pool. So as a citizen, I approached other counties in the county risk pool, and I discussed with them how to go about getting Mason County the liability acceptable for the risk pool. And I had a long conversation with Cloughton County, who has a high trestle bridge that they converted from rails to trails, and I've gone through the way that they were able to approach it and get permission from the Washington County Risk Pool and able to make that happen for them. And if we follow their formula, the person I spoke to with Cloughton County, he is excited about this opportunity, and he believes it could, if we present it to the risk pool properly, that there will be no objections. And in case you're curious, it's an amusement. They call bungee jumping an amusement. So it is already an amusement to use the county facilities at the airport and take a plane up and jump out of an the airplane, all right? So that kind of a risk has already has already been out there, and the people I've talked to don't think it's that terrible of a proposition to have this happen. And the nice thing about what we're doing out there is it is, if we don't do it, they're gonna tear the bridge down because, and as we bring this, one last thing I do have to say, and this is important, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this right away, is do not go out there. I talked to Mac, who is the head of security. He's putting extra people out there to watch. If you just even go out to look at the bridge, you can be given a ticket, you could even be arrested. But you could even derail the entire opportunity that we have. If somebody is a snidely whiplash and goes out there and derails the train, it's coming down. So don't be snidely whiplash. Don't go out and try and get on the bridge. We don't need that kind of thing. Wait until the bridge is safe and is legally ours and we have all the liability in place. So I appreciate that.
And I do agree that it is an amusement when I'm sitting on the side watching them scream bloody murder as they're going down kicking and screaming. That's amusing to me. But thank you.
Thank you.
For your service.
Is there anybody else who wishes to speak on any item that is not on the agenda today? Hearing none, we will go ahead and move on to item number 6, which is the adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
I will second. Is there a second for the adoption of the agenda as presented? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. Item number 7, approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the July 27 and August 10th briefing minutes and the September 1 regular meeting minutes.
I will second. It's been moved and seconded for the approval of the July 27th and August 10th briefing minutes and the September 1st regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next up is a very short item number 8, approval of our action agenda. All items listed under the action agenda may be enacted by one motion unless a commissioner or citizen requests an item be removed from the action agenda and considered as a separate item. We'll read them. You'll be given the opportunity to take any item off that that you want, any of these two, and we'll see what happens. Commissioner Jeffries, I will read item number 8.2 and give you 8.1.
Thank you. Item 8.1, approval of Veterans Assistance Fund applications for utilities, $791.19, as recommended by the Veterans Service Office.
Item number 8.2, approval of warrants, claims clearing fund warrants, 8028-376-8028838 for a total of $1,923,438.41. Direct deposit fund warrants, number 24786 through 25165 for the amount of $614,571.83. Salary clearing fund warrants, number 7001279 through 7001309 for $446,173.18 for a total of $2,984,183.42. Claims clearing fund totals year to date $23,976,342.25. Direct deposit year to date totals $10,145,899.82, and the salary clearing year to date total is $10,545,405.98. With that being read into the record, does anybody have any questions to help decide whether to take it off? Hearing none, is there any item that anybody would like to take it off for a separate vote? Commissioner, do you have any? Then I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve all the items on today's action agenda.
I second. It's been moved that we approve all the items on today's action agenda. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. We have, let's see. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to item number 9.1, public hearing to consider the application for a private line occupancy permit for Randall Reeve, staff Melissa McFadden will be presenting.
Good morning, Melissa McFadden, Mason County Public Works. So Mr. Reeves submitted an application for a private line occupancy permit. So they will be, their proposal is to construct a septic transport, electrical, and communication line under Shelton Matlock Road. So they have properties on either side of Shelton Matlock Road near Lake Newauxville. The proposal, I believe we've talked about it in briefing. If there are any questions, I would definitely entertain them.
So it'll be all three, electricity, water, and septic?
It will be communication, electrical, and septic.
Communication, okay, thank
Is there any question for staff? Any question for staff? Hearing none, we'll close the staff presentation and move to public. Is there any public who would like to testify? Hearing none, we'll move from public testimony to commissioner deliberation. Do you have a deliberation?
I don't.
Then we'll move on to a motion. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the private line occupancy permit for lines near address number 12680 Shelton Matlock Road in Shelton, Washington, for Mr. Randall Reeve.
Ma'am. And I will second. It's been moved and seconded that the board approve the private line occupancy permit for lines near address 12680 Shelton Matlock Road in Shelton, Washington for Mr. Randall Reeves. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. That hearing is closed. Next, we'll move on to item number 10, which is other business. Department heads and elected officials. Department heads first. Are there any department heads who would like to speak at this time? Hearing none, are there any elected officials who would like to speak at this time? Sheriff?
Before I get to my business, first of all, that was an excellent example. You use the term snidely whiplash. You have to be from I'd say you have to be a seasoned veteran to go back and remember that name, but that was outstanding. The undersheriff mentioned to one of our junior members here a while back, used the term romper room, and they looked at him and kept looking at him. I realized they had no idea what we were talking about. So, and if you don't know who snidely whiplash is, look that up. That's a perfect example of what we don't want. So, outstanding. My reason for today is I just wanted to make a public statement, general thank you on behalf of our office and Rachel Stuhlmiller's family. The service was incredibly well attended. I was told that over 1,000 people attended her service. And although that was not a line of duty death for us, Rachel was very close to us, had been with us a short time. And I want to thank those members of the general public for expressing their concern and their condolences for Rachel. So thank you so much for all those of you that attended that day. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Are there any other elected officials who would like to speak at this time? Hearing none, we will move on to item number 11, board reports and calendars. And I'm going to try and go first. I'm still working with this new phone. It's brand new, and so I have no idea what I did. I think we had a regulatory subcommittee this last week for the EDC Breakfast Builders Club. Met with some developers in regards to trails and with Monty and the like. The Allen Community Association has shifted, their organization is changing from their regular morning meetings to doing kind of small town halls. It was very well attended, about 30 people attended, and so we went and did that. Other than that, a little hard for me to read these and what I had attended. This next week though, my daughter is going to be starting her first day of school, 5 years old, and that's pretty exciting for me. It's scary. So I know where I will be for those first hours. I will be following the bus because there's no way I'm going to let her get down that road without me behind her. And I'll be there when she gets off that bus, and I'll do that for that first day just in case. But I'm sure she's going to be fine. But I think the one that's most afraid is me. Let's see. There's a Democratic meeting. There's a port meeting tonight that I hope to attend. We have our EDC, our luncheon. We have something also with the Simpson transition team, it looks like again. EDC board meeting. I'll be meeting with those same developers and going for a drive around. There's a Trails End potluck. And Thurston County Commission will be meeting with us for a joint meeting. And other than that, I'll pick up anything else that I can't figure out on my phone after she's done speaking.
Two park board members.
Oh, that's right. Plus, there's a park, Kitsap County, Mason County, Kitsap County. Derek Kilmer and his folks have put together a gathering of all of them. I will be attending that also. I don't know what time because it's not actually 10
tomorrow, PDD 3.
Thank you. Commissioner?
Last week following our commission meeting, I did attend a presentation by our district court. We have a new probation officer, our second probation officer, hired just this year, who's also been trained in something called moral recognition training. And it's not recognition. And she said, she gave a presentation. She's been trained on this, and she's given training to offenders and various people in substance abuse courses on this training, which is kind of a cognitive therapy training, and our probation office wants to incorporate this into our probation services. And I think this is a tremendous step forward. Right now, they have a very large caseload, and by adding a probation officer onto that, plus one trained in this, we could be probably doing some very proactive things with our probation services now. Looking forward to that. Met with Mark Friedman, who's our head of our regional support network, which we share with Mason County, or Thurston County, on some of our criminal diversion opportunities that he'll be presenting today in a meeting that I'll talk about later. Had the opportunity to meet, or to attend Shelton High School's Community Pride Night. We have a new superintendent in Shelton School District, Alex Apostle, who's been tremendously proactive in not just building the school's curriculums itself, but also the connection between the community and the school. And this Community Pride Night was his first attempt at that, and it was a huge success. Over this weekend we had quite a few local events that I attended. The Smoke and Mo's did a block party. I'm always appreciative of businesses that take an opportunity to support local organizations, and their block party supported the HOST program, which is a housing our students in transition, which are kids that are in the foster system that kind of age out of the foster system and they don't have a place to go. So this organization provides housing as long as they're continuing on with their education, and that event supported that. I was able to attend the Celtic Festival, and then for the first time visited the Wildcat Sanctuary over on Harstein Island. A tremendous, just a really tremendous asset to this county, and I'd encourage people to go out and take a look if they haven't. Following today's meeting, we'll be having a second meeting of stakeholders in an effort to identify opportunities and plans for how do we address the acute mental illness folks, people who are in our community that are suffering from acute mental illness episodes. Our police officers are called in to approach these folks, have really no alternative but to take them to jail, which creates a de facto mental health institution in our jail, as well as our emergency room, who are not equipped for mental health services, are being asked to treat these folks and then don't really have a place to take them. And so we're trying to come up with some opportunities and ideas about what can we do to address this issue in our community. We have a meeting with MaceCon, and I will be attending the Port of Hoodsport meeting tonight on Highway 101 and some of the transportation issues between on Highway 101 and building that community. And there is that Kitsap Mason Trails discussion meeting tomorrow, 10 o'clock. I'll be attending as well. And then we have a joint meeting of the Mason County Commissioners and the Thurston County Commissioners for something the state is doing and combining as part of the Affordable Care Act, and the state is taking a lead role in putting substance abuse and mental health services in combined resource delivery systems through something called the Behavioral Health Organizations. It's going to take the place of the Regional Support Network, which is mostly, is almost strictly devoted to mental illness issues. And so you have these co-occurring disorders of people that are self-medicating their mental health issues with substance abuse. And so by providing both substance abuse services as well as mental health services, we can maybe get a more comprehensive approach towards giving these people help. I'll be attending Shelton Mason County Chamber after hours, and then meeting with some of our mental health casework providers throughout this week. I've been working on a lot of mental health issues.
I'm sorry.
And you know, we're at a crisis point in this community, and we do need to be more comprehensive and deliberative about how we're delivering care and how we're meeting the needs here in this community, because the social costs are tremendous. The social costs are tremendous otherwise if we don't do this head on. And then I'll be at the Chamber, North Mason Chamber after hours. I feel like I'm missing a meeting that we'll both be attending together, but
I might be at that North Mason Chamber after hours as well. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can't find my phone yet. So.
And then back here for briefings on Monday.
Excellent. Is there anything further? to come before this board? Do you have anything left? Out there, okay. Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Second, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.